Minnesota Vikings just now trade for Cam Akers, man. We give up a 2026 pick. I guess we're still waiting on the details to come out. What about this move, man? So to me, man, the feeling on this move is it was an obvious move that I think the Vikings felt like they had to make due to the fact that our run game has pretty much been non-existent, right? And again, this isn't a knock on Alexander Madison. I just believe that Alexander Madison is an RB2. I do believe that he is better when you have a more shiftier guy that can really make people miss, especially with the play style of the Minnesota Vikings, man. The offensive line not being the greatest and having to make people miss. Like, you need more of an elusive back on the Minnesota Vikings at this moment in time, right? We all felt like Alexander Madison would be able to handle the role of being a 3-down back, man. But, RAP was just calling it all off season, man. And I feel bad due to the fact that I really like Alexander Madison, you know what I mean? But the facts are just the facts, and we got to talk about it, right? Man, listen. Akers, man, Cam Akers, listen, I'm going to keep it real. He had his 1 year where he was balling and then he got injured. He was on the Rams. He was looking like the next coming of damn Barry Sanders and everybody else on the top of the running back list, right? He was playing really good. Everybody was hype on him, going and getting him on fantasy, this, that, and the third, and then he started going downhill. Another thing of, Kwesi, and Yogi was talking about it earlier, Kwesi going off of potential. Right? Going off of potential. Right now, this is the thing. I do believe he still can bring some value to the Minnesota Vikings. He's only 24 years old, coming out of Florida State. He was a second-round draft pick. So I like Cam Akers in all reality. I actually like Cam Akers, but the truth is this. We need to more focus on the defensive line. You added something to the offensive line, bringing in Dalton Risner, but the defensive line still is scary, man. It's still sticky. I mean, you're not going to be able to really benefit from the run game if we can't damn stop the run our damn self. Why? Because we're going to be playing catch up, man. We're going to be playing catch up. So what does that mean? That means we're going to be throwing the ball more than none. So another thing too is, listen, if you're bringing in Cam Akers, right, and you want to do it to where you're either going to do a running back by committee or you're going to just make him the RB1 and kind of go back to what you used to do with Alexander Madison and Dalvin Cook, that's fine. But you have to feed the guy the rock. Give him the opportunities. You cannot run the ball 9 times, right? You're going to have to start handing off the ball a little more and establish the run. And I know when Zimmer was coach, we used to always say, oh, Mike Zimmer just wants to establish the run. That's all he cares about, establish the run. But there is a thin line there that you do have to establish the run to win football games. And on top of that, not only to win football games, but it also benefits you in play action. And what do we have? We have one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to play action. Surprisingly enough, the Eagles were still biting on play action on Thursday night, which was weird, being that our run game was non-existent. So as a defensive coordinator, I would have said, hey, do not bite on any run. You feel me? Because they're not running the ball on us. But they still were biting somewhat, so it was weird. But you do need that guy in there that can threaten the defense, man. Threaten the defense with some home runs, just like what we missed with Dalvin Cook, man. I know everybody was mad at me, man, for not wanting to get rid of Dalvin Cook, but I told you, we will have this conversation, man. I even told the group that we in, man, Purple and Scold Me. I said, listen, we will come back to this conversation, man, and talk about it. Because I'm telling you right now, man, it's obvious, right? It was obvious. But Cam Akers, man, welcome to the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, look, I like the pickup. I think it's one of those things where there's a possibility he can turn into somebody. He actually showed some good flashes when he was healthy. Now that he's healthy, let's get him in there, man. Let's get him up to speed. And let's see what we got, man. Maybe he can rejuvenate this run game and actually rejuvenate Alexander Madison, man. I think Alexander Madison is good when he has somebody he can lean on as well. So not only is it going to benefit the Vikings as a whole, it'll benefit Alexander Madison, man. So Cam Akers, welcome to the Minnesota Vikings, dog. Can't wait to watch you play on Sundays. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gonna do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.